event for other students to watch. So as I mentioned, I'm Amy Good, the program manager for the Community Education Center. We create programs to help students with career exploration. So today's session is to provide you an opportunity to gain more insight and exposure in the field of computer repair and to assist you in analyzing your own future career choices. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Larry Staden from A&D Computers. Welcome, Larry.
Thank you. Very nice to be here.
So I'm just going to start off by asking you some questions, and then we'll throw it out in a little bit here for the students to see if they have any questions for you, okay?
Sure thing.
All right, so do you just want to introduce yourself to us? Tell us, what happened from when you were back in high school to now, how your career path has progressed through the years?
Sure. Again, I'm Larry Staden. I own A&D Computers. And my career started a little bit before high school. This is before a lot of times. Ask your parents about the little yellow running man. That might make them laugh. But I wanted to know how it worked, so I started taking apart computers, and it stuck. And I liked it so much, I decided to make a career out of it. I've done this all my life. It is very hard work to get where I'm at. It definitely takes an education, and after high school, you do have to go to college. It's not, you could just start working on a computer and you're gonna know what you're doing. But as I hear, the high school actually may know quite a bit these days. As in for college, I went to James Madison. I actually have a bachelor's degree in computer engineering. I just don't like writing code. And my passion is I love fixing things. I love making people smile because some computers could have a sentimental value. Some people could just not afford a new computer. My job is to make what you have work. And around here, I am very good at what I do. Is there any other questions, Ms. Good?
So how long have you had your company?
15 years.
15 years. And so what does, what does your job look like on a daily basis? What kind of, equipment do you actually fix?
Well, we actually fix everything from cell phones, computers, amplifiers, anything with the electrical current. Believe it or not, being a computer tech just does not mean you work on computers. We offer remote support. We're the guys that'll sit there. If you have a problem, you call us, and we actually try to walk you through everything before you come to the shop. We do like to at least save people money if we can. Our tools, basically Windows operating systems, Linux. In the cell phone world, I have little heaters that I have to use, certain knives that are used on screens. Biggest tool that I have in my job is what's in here, what's in my brain. And even today, I still learn new things every day, because when I was in school, there was no such thing as a tablet. There was no such thing as a smartphone. I had to relearn all this when all these new gadgets come out, and it still happens. So if you want to choose a field in the computer industry, just prepare that you will always learn something new. They're not going to stop making stuff. Some of the things are absolutely weird, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But
so do you take classes, or do you just kind of go online and try to figure out this new technology yourself?
I actually take classes. Trying to do something yourself going online is a very bad idea. The internet is not always truthful. Believe it or not, the internet lies a lot. And doing the classes, you also get certified. You don't really want to play in this field and not be licensed or certified, because if you make your client mad, they can ruin your life. Especially if you are not licensed, they could sue you. That's why one of the biggest things we have is insurance. You don't want to do this without insurance. It's very bad idea because you can lose a lot.
So what do you enjoy the most about your job?
I enjoy making people happy. I love the smile. I'm known for creating the impossible. The big companies will tell people that their computer's not fixable, it's not upgradable. I love proving them big time companies wrong. Believe it or not, I actually used to work for IBM 15 years ago. I left the company just because the office in Maryland actually closed. And I wasn't going to their main headquarters. I wasn't getting on a plane. Forget that.
So what do you not enjoy about your job? Is there anything?
Not really. Not
No?
really. That's the one thing is I always believe that my job is not a job. It's something I enjoy doing, and I've enjoyed it since I was I started by taking my mom's computer apart because really I really was looking for the little yellow running man. But at that age, I thought he lived in the computer, and I was determined to find it. As I try to tell everybody, do what you love, because if you do what you love, it is not a job. If you start hating your work, you're just going to want to hate to get up to go to work, and then you're just not going to go to work. And which is a bad thing, because once you're out of school, you're going to have bills to pay. You're going to have rent. You're going to have either a mortgage. You're going to have college to pay for. Nothing in this world is free.
That's very true. And that seems to be the consensus this week about and finding something that you enjoy. A lot of the speakers have said that throughout this week. So how does someone like you get paid? Do you charge an hourly rate or a project, per project?
Well, like my company, we charge an hourly rate because if I charge by the project, it can get expensive. We used to charge by the project until I proved that I'm fast, and I am one of the fastest techs known. That's why I charge an hourly rate, because I do not want people to be paying too much. So their computer's never in my shop more than an hour. So wow. they get that surprise right there. That one I love. Because when I tell them, all right, come back in an hour, they're like, no, the other company had it for a week. I'm like, I'm not the other company. But again, being as fast as I am, you actually come through that through time. I've done this for 15 years. And I mean, yeah, I worked gas station part-time jobs to make a little extra moolah, because trust me, owning a business is expensive. But I would never close it down. I don't care how hard it got. It's what I love to do. And I don't know, if they stop making computers, then maybe I'll stop. But I don't never see that happening.
So you see the future outlook in the computer industry seems pretty strong.
Yes. And it's not like everybody needs repairs, but that's not also what we need in the computers industry. That's not just what we do. there are cybersecurity experts, website design. In the computer field, there is multiple choices that you can do. Trust me, when I went to school, and I can't speak the geek terms basically. Yeah, that's not me. I'd like to be able to tell my clients what it is in plain old English. And they, but it also takes a while to learn that, because some of the things that you're going, if you go into the computer field, some of the things you're going to learn don't even exist today anymore, especially dialogue. That's been obsolete since I graduated high school, but you still learn about it in classes, because there are some older generation that may still have it. So that's, again, that's why I say you're in the computer world, you're always going to learn. There's always something new. Like there's always a new virus coming out that we have to learn to track and trace and try to defeat. Basically, a computer tech like me is a doctor for a computer. And if you ask any doctor, they're always learning.
Very well put. Well, let's see if the students have any questions.
Sure thing.
Do the students have any questions at this time?
What, honey? I have one question. Landon would like to know what kinds of classes, high school classes, you mean, Landon? High school classes that might be beneficial to getting a degree in computer engineering.
I don't know if you still have it, but computer science was one of my classes. And back when I went to school, we still had typing and typewriters, and learning to type is one of the best things to have. Because there is no speed writing. There is no, you can't like chicken scratch like a doctor can. You actually have to type out code, full sentences. So learning to type is a must for a computer career. And math. You really, really need to know math. But it's also good to do all your school classes, honestly.
Does anybody else have any questions? Everyone's shaking their head no. So let's see. So I guess you don't do much traveling with your job then.
That would be false, because once you find, we do networking and everything, and once people find out that you have a very good reputation at what you do, you get calls from out of town, and unless I gotta travel 300 miles, I normally take the job. So yes, we travel a lot. A lot of people notice if you come to my shop, I'm very rarely there. But again, it's also, I'm one of the very only techs left that still do house calls. Even through this pandemic, I mask up and I still go to my client's house, because not everybody can bring you their computers. And that's also a good thing to remember. A lot of people will be like, oh, I'm not going to somebody's house, and literally just suck it up, buttercup, because if you're doing my job, yes, you are.
Wow, that's pretty unique, and a unique service that you provide. So I'm just curious, when you were at IBM, what did you do for them?
I actually created programs to fight viruses. I was a coder. That's why I said I do not write code no more. I left when they closed down. I decided that I never wanted to do that again. And I'll take that back. That is the one part of my job I hate. I hate code. If anybody learns code, it's a bunch of ones and zeros, and it's basically a headache interpreter. I don't recommend it unless you like it.
So if you think back to when you were in high school and all of the wealth of information that you know now, what do you wish you would have known back then that you know now?
Actually, I wish I would have learned to pay attention sooner. I had no idea back then that everything that I learned in high school, well, mostly everything, that I would have to use today in my career. When I say that you need math and computer, like I said, it's a bunch of ones and zeros. It's a mathematical problem. A computer is not smart. It just can calculate a lot faster than the human brain. But it is the human brain that tells the computer what to do.
So I guess maybe even thinking back to like your IBM days, how would a student like stand out in a crowd, you know, in this industry?
Literally, your work speaks for itself. If you want to be there, you want to be a tech, you have to be determined to be the best. But being the best also means being polite, doing what your client wants, not what you want. Even if you disagree, you can mention your disagreements, but you always do what your client wants. There's a saying, the customer is always right, even if they're wrong. And that's a motto we live by, because if you make one customer unhappy, that client can go over and tell another client, and you can lose business. So you just want to be honest, but make sure you're good at what you're doing and let your work stand out than all others. And trust me, I had companies over here that I had to tower above when I first started. And here it is, 2021, and I'm the only one left in Cameron County. And that's where I say you have to tower. You have, in this world, computer world, you really do have to reach for the stars. Because there's no limit to what we do. But pick a field that you're going to stick with. Don't try to jump around, because when you learn new things, you forget old things. And the computer world, there's just like, I'm the repair tech, but I have guys that are web designers. I have another guy that can create a virus in a heartbeat. There's a bunch of things computer techs do. It's can I ask y'all something? Do you guys actually know what IT tech stands for?
Anybody know? Got a lot of no's out there.
Information technology technician.
So do you, like you said, you have a virus guy, and do you employ other people, or do you just have like relationships with them that you can do referrals?
We used to employ, then COVID happened, and unfortunately can't afford to employ anybody right now. But again, I won't employ anybody unless they have a college degree. They have to have at least a 5-year background in computer technology. I can't take, and any employer, will tell you this, we cannot take the risk of hiring somebody that does not know what they're doing. Yeah, we can train somebody, but that's not having a degree. If you don't have your degree, I can't put you out in the field. Trust me, people actually do background checks. It sucks. I'm alerted every time they do one on me. But I mean, it happens. You can't get mad about things like that. Oh, our hope is that once this COVID is all over, we be going full force again. And I would love to give people an opportunity to prove themselves in this world. And who knows, maybe God bless it, happens soon, but only time will tell right now.
Well, it's great that you've been able to, keep going throughout this whole pandemic. And it's great that you go into the homes and actually go to people. So I appreciate that.
That's also what makes us, me actually an essential employee, because if banks or anything, computers go down and the government said I couldn't work, then everything gets shut down, because then there's nobody to repair what they messed up. And as in for the home visits, think I'm actually the only tech that still does it. A lot of people shun it, and me, I don't care. It makes people's life easier, and that's what your job is, to help, to make things easy. And trust me, because if they brought the computer, they didn't know what they were doing, you're getting a call in 5 minutes. How do I hook this up? And so it's a lot easier just go do it yourself. And your clients will love it too, because they get face-on-face interaction. They get you explaining exactly what is wrong and what you're doing. They're just not dropping it off and some guy over the counter is taking care of it and they have no clue what you're doing. The computer clients love the facts. Facts are a big thing in my line of business. And trust me, if you get in this career, do expect to repeat yourself over and over and over. But that's because a lot of people have the same damn question all the time.
So do you just repair? Do you sell computers also?
Yes, we sell computers. We custom build computers, but we technically stay on the repair side. Because like I said, I like to say, if somebody doesn't have a computer, yes, I'll gladly sell them one. But if someone has a computer, they're like, oh, it don't work. And I say the same things. Bring it here and let me work my magic. But again, I've worked for big companies. I've learned tricks along the way. Some of these tricks I did not learn in school. I actually learned by watching. And I learned to bring a dinosaur into the new age. And unfortunately, I'm the only tech that knows how to do that, and I don't give my secrets.
All right. I guess before we finish up, just seeing if the students have any final questions.
Sure thing.
No questions, guys?
All right.
I just was wondering where he went. Where did you go to school for your computer engineering degree?
James Madison.
All right. Any other questions, guys? Guess not.
Okay, so is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to cover today?
No, just when you pick a career, pick wisely. Pick something you enjoy. Don't pick something you'll hate, because then you'll end up hating yourself. Trust me, I've seen people do it.
All right, well, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right, everybody have a good day.
Yes, stay in school.